How in your opinion, in AUTOSOL's opinion, because I'm just really curious about this, is the trend towards digital data collection and automation, how is that really affecting your clients and how things are moving forward in a positive manner in terms of understanding assets?
That is a very big topic of conversation here. And if I could reword your question, and instead
Please
of say
do.
that,
Yeah,
say the golden trigger phrase, digital transformation, right?
Mhm.
Digital transformation. The problem with digital transformation is that it means something different to everyone I have ever talked to. I am sure, well, I know there is because I went and found and read it, but there is a very niche academic version of what exactly digital transformation is, how to use it, how it integrates with everything else. But the problem with the ivory tower version of it, well, I guess two things. One, no ivory. And two, that doesn't really help me explain it to a client or help service them. There's a comic that I saw, and I absolutely love it. It's an executive sitting at a table, and I guess I'm describing it here for the people listening to the podcast, not watching the YouTube. There's an executive sitting at the table with a couple other people there, and he says, "Who's ready for digital transformation?" And they all raise their hand. And the bottom panel says, "All right, what does it mean?" And one guy's looking at his phone, one guy's whistling up, and one guy's literally walking out of the room.
Mhm.
I was actually at a trade show 3 weeks ago, and one of the keynote speakers was an IIoT technologist. And the person introducing them mentioned digital transformation. And in the speech, they said, "I don't know what it means, but, dot, dot, dot."
Right.
So here was someone introducing a IIoT technology for digital transformation, but could not explain what it was. I actually have a version of it taped to my monitor. So that way, when clients want to talk to me about it, I have the words to kind of express it. So let me kind of hammer home this point, if I can, about the difference between the ivory tower version and then what I'll tell people about it. And then I'll actually answer your question. Sorry. Here's the official academic version of digital transformation. Digital transformation is the cultural, organizational, and operational change of an organization, industry, or ecosystem through a smart integration of digital technologies, processes, and competencies across all levels and functions in a staged and structured way. I don't ever say that to anybody. What I actually say is digital transformation is just unlocking potential through software.
I like that one better.
Yeah, of course I say that because we make software, but ultimately that is what it means to a lot of our clients. Even if you're talking about hardware nowadays, that hardware is running some sort of software. So it's about unlocking potential through software. And one of the ways that this really, I guess, shakes up traditional SCADA is that the way SCADA is rolled out nowadays is kind of like building a chain. You do it link by link, piece by piece. So the well is drilled, the pipe is laid, someone goes in and puts all the sensors in, and then someone comes in and puts the telemetry in, and then someone puts the polling engine in, and then someone puts the HMI and the historian in the cloud, and you build this chain where the data passes from link to link as it's designed to do. But the part that trips up people about digital transformation is that last part of the academic definition, the across all levels and functions in a staged and strategic way. That build out link by link, it is staged, but it's not staged with the idea of, I want data from this sensor in the middle of nowhere, West Texas, to get to my phone in this analytics app. When that well was first drilled and all that was first there, that was not the thought of it. So the way it was designed and the way it's ultimately consumed currently does not lend itself to an easy digital transformation. And what clients are grappling with here is that digital transformation is, it's hard to figure out what it is solving. People hear it and say, yes, I want to do digital transformation. Or it's like, yes, I would love to get surgery. It's like, well, what hurts? I have a couple of pain points, but I don't know if it's worth surgery on. And so that's where AUTOSOL has actually seen a lot of success in helping our clients digitally transform. And that is that we do find the pain points that have a return of investment that warrants going into a small little bit of surgery. And so, for example, one of them would be the application of a technology called MQTT.
Okay.
So MQTT is just a way to transport data from point A to point B. But the beauty of MQTT is that that data has context from the minute it is put into MQTT along the entire chain. So rather than having, like I kind of talked earlier about, right, I've got this tag that's 1,000. But 1,000 what? Like,
right.
What device? Where is this?
Where's the context, right?
Exactly. Until it lands in an HMI, it's almost useless. MQTT lets me contextualize that data from the field. And so since it has context, I can still send it to the HMI, and I still do. But because I have this context, other applications can consume it at the exact same time as the HMI. So rather than having to sit down and, tear up all of your technology in the field, putting an IoT box, running something like EACM out there, which can pull all of your data, collect it, and then convert it into MQTT for consumption across multiple steps. I mean, it can go from field to server, from server to cloud, from field to HMI. It's very, very flexible. And one of the specific ways that we do it, to kind of really bring it home to a point here, digital transformation for our clients is, they have tens of thousands of wells spread out across the world, where sometimes connectivity is a big problem. So we can put our edge solution EACM out there and use MQTT to reduce the bandwidth over that network to then increase the amount of data that they're receiving, and then changing where that data goes into without a rip and replace. Like, this is a box you can just drop in and it starts to run. And I've got some charts I would like to share as well, where it's, MQTT versus traditional polling. So there's MQTT versus Modbus. So if I am trying to poll 1,000 tags with Modbus on traditional polling, I'm going to use basically 100% of potential bandwidth. But if I use MQTT to poll those exact same 1,000 tags, and only 1% of those tags change value from the last poll, I'll save 99.6% or something like that, 99 point something percent of bandwidth. If 50%, if 500 tags are changing value, instead of sending 1,000 tags, MQTT will just wrap up 500 of them and give them context. And it will still only be like 85% of the original bandwidth. So if we can reduce the bandwidth with MQTT, we can then also start sending more data over that same path. And that's one way that we help, digitally transform, although it might not hit every single bullet point in the academic definition. At the end of the day, if we can get somebody higher resolution data on a plunger lift station to tell whether or not their optimization algorithm is working in real time instead of once every 2-week cycle when they send someone out there, then we have accomplished our mission. We have helped a client digitally transform a portion of their process in a strategic and staged way, right? We helped, we unlocked potential with software.